to say. Again, we encourage everyone to change your names to your short names, the way you would like to be recognized, and add your country, unit, or office. As we gather for Saint Mary Euphrasia's birthday for the first time, we would like all of us to celebrate and participate in the program as Mother of Euphrasia, also known as Rose Virginie Pelletier, will be here with us today. So sit back, relax, and stay tuned to each other as we open the curtains and inaugurate a historical event in Good Shepherd. Now let's also connect and go back to the IDG theme song of 2020. Let's rewatch and see where the journey started.
Break out in song, rejoice with us. We blow our trumpets, beat our drums. Empowered are we with visions for the future. We break the silence. Empowered are we with visions for the future. We break the silence. We are willing, we are ready to leave our footprints on the mighty sands of time. We have our visions and inspirations. With joy and power, we claim our equal prize. Dreams, the future is ours. Our senses unfold, we are gifted. With esteem and pride, we celebrate our lives. The children are we. With esteem and pride, we celebrate our lives. The children are we. We are willing, we are ready to leave our footprints on the mighty sands of time. We have our visions and inspirations. With joy and power, we claim our equal prize. Listen to our voices, the children are we. Our lives really matter. We are free as the wind, like waves on the ocean. With rhythm we dance. No more do we fear. The silence, the silence, the silence.
We celebrate my voice, our equal future. Our inner selves awakened. We claim the world. We are willing. We are ready.
We are willing. We are ready to leave our footprints on the mighty sands of time. Hear our voices. Girl, children are we. We raise our voices for our equal future. We have our visions and inspirations. With joy and power, we claim our equal prize.
Wow, thank you so much, Sri Lanka, for the beautiful IDG theme song. Isn't it so beautiful? We are really willing to leave our footprints on the sands of time, just like Mother Euphrasia did. I'm just looking at everybody who's dialed in from so many places, and wow, isn't it amazing that we're all able to connect together today from different areas for one common cause. So, as I can see, many of you are already ready. Can you use the reaction buttons and let me know if we're good to go? If we can start off. Yeah, can I see reaction buttons from everybody? It's great, amazing. Okay. Okay, then I think we're set for today. We also welcome everybody who is watching live from YouTube. We're really glad that all of you, so many people from YouTube also have joined in with us. All right. This is the day the Lord has made, July 31st, an important date in the Good Shepherd calendar. A day to celebrate the joy of being united as one Good Shepherd family. A day to celebrate the birth of young Rose Virginie Pelletier, who has transmitted her zeal and fire into the very soul of Good Shepherd mission, which is alive and vibrant, echoing the values of St. Mary Euphrasia. We commence by welcoming each and every participant here, every girl, every sister, and partner in mission, by saying, Yum person vomia come on. One person is of more value than the whole world. Each and every one of you on this virtual platform and beyond is most precious. Let us connect across the globe by rooting our feet on the ground as we may be seated and allow the connections to flow beneath the earth, like the powerful roots of the Douglas and the fir trees, connecting us to our common roots. Enjoy the power of this connection and gratefully breathe the free air. Whisper a thank you for the air we breathe. Open out your palms and your hearts to the large umbrella connecting us across the planet and feel the joy of the enveloping grace that has placed you and me under this canopy. Dear Good Shepherd, thank you for this binding cord which is connecting us across these mighty lands and skies. May we listen to your guiding voice during this session and bring fruition to the dreams and voices of every girl in Good Shepherd Asia Pacific. We place before you our sisters and friends in Myanmar who are suffering due to the political unrest. Give them the courage to battle on. We also remember all the girls and the innumerable families across the world whose lives and livelihood have been shaken by the pandemic. May they find hope and peace in your comforting presence. We, the voices of the girls, pray that this session unfolds infinite opportunities for many more voices to be heard in the future. Amen.
What a better day than this day for the launch of the research paper entitled A Good Shepherd, Practitioner Insights Attainment, a review of rights realization by girls in Asia Pacific. We are gathered here to establish and proclaim that girls' rights are human rights, and to declare that, by aligning Good Shepherd practice with girls' ambitions, we will truly be celebrating our visionary founder's birthday by making her proud of us. This research is one of the outcomes of the International Day of the Girl Child 2020, wherein Good Shepherd units in Asia Pacific supported the proposal for a regional research on the rights attainment of the girl child from the perspective of practitioners, from Good Shepherd social services as well as school setting. And Mary Euphrasia heard it indeed. And so here we are, her young girls and daughters, to launch this research paper and share our hopes and dreams for the future where we can be anyone we want to be. Mary Euphrasia, here is your birthday present from Good Shepherd Asia Pacific. Four of us, Fatima, Royce, Bava, and Shane, who have connected from Chennai, India, and Manila, Philippines to co-host this exciting program.
I am Fatima, a grade 12 commerce student in Good Shepherd School, Chennai, and a quality that I have proudly inherited from our mother foundress would be to do good because I wholeheartedly believe in it.
I am Royce, a grade 12 UM student in a Good Shepherd school in the Philippines and a courageous person who is ready to face every challenge that comes in my life.
I am Bava, a grade 11 science student from Good Shepherd, Chennai, and I am happy to say that I am bold, undaunted, and creative.
I am Shane, a grade 10 student in a Good Shepherd school in the Philippines, and like St. Mary Frasia, I am a woman of compassion who desires to serve a greater purpose in life.
And we are supported by our technical assistants, Maria Nikita and Sanjana from Chennai, and the older Good Shepherd siblings, Teresa, Sashi, Jill, and Sheena. As we start the launch, we would like to give you a quick run through of what you will expect for today's event over the next 90 minutes or so. First is meeting the ones who put pen on paper, a conversation with the co-authors of the research document, some insights, specifically Good Shepherd practitioners' insights on different aspects of the document, access to justice, achieving gender equality, access to education, access to quality health and well-being, and looking to the future. And of course, the recommendations for the future, or rather carry the candle. And this event would be boring without the music and the fun. So we will have a party time. And for the last, go light the world as the ending part. Now, it's time to spotlight the co-authors of this powerful research document, Lily Gardiner and Teresa Simmons. Fatima will help us listen to their story.
Now time to introduce the masterminds behind the research papers, to say the least, the authors Lily Gardner and Teresa Simmons. Lily Gardner is the Senior Policy and Advocacy Advisor with Good Shepherd Australia, New Zealand. Lily is the main lead in putting this research together, from the research methodology to review of related literature and data analysis. In short, Lily was the main author of this research document, while Teresa Simmons is the Good Shepherd International Foundation's regional manager for Asia Pacific. Teresa coordinated the research with Lily using her experience in mission development to complement Lily's research skills. Good afternoon, Lily. Good morning, Teresa. We're so excited to have you with us. As a girl advocating for my rights, I'm indeed delighted that Good Shepherd has identified the key areas to enable all practitioners in Good Shepherd Asia Pacific to work with and promote rights attainment for a girl child. Girls' rights are human rights, and we sure shall have it. Today, before we set sail with our session, we have a few questions to the authors who have meticulously worked behind this to help us get a clearer idea on the launch of the research papers. The first question, why this research? What drove you to work in this particular area?
Thank you, Fatima, for this opening question. As we all know, one of Good Shepherd's priorities is our focus on women and children, especially the girl child. We recognize that the marginalization and exploitation of women have their root causes in the systemic injustices that the girl child experience. So this research, as you mentioned earlier, is a direct outcome of the webinar on the Good Shepherd position papers that we had in July last year on the girl child. We wanted to know the situation of the girl child in Asia Pacific within Good Shepherd, both within the social services and the schools. We believe that when the value of the girl is recognized, when their needs are met, and when their voices amplified, girls contribute to positive change in their families, local communities, nations, and even the world.
Wow, that was truly amazing. Thank you so much, Ms. Teresa. Hello, Ms. Lily. We're so glad to have you here with us. All right, moving on to the second question. How did you go about the process of researching accurate and minute details for the document?
Thank you, Fatima, and the panel hosting today, and thank you for letting us speak to the research. It's a really exciting time. So I first undertook a literature review, which involved looking at what academics, UN bodies, and other NGOs had written, as well as talking to people from the program area. This led to the co-design of an online survey, and I'm really thankful for everyone that participated in that survey. And from the survey results, Teresa and I and the steering committee were able to figure out what we needed to know more about, to understand what were the challenges and the barriers and what were the opportunities. So from that, we did the focus group discussion, and then we brought it all together in what you have before you as the report.
That was truly, you have done a lot of research and we can see it in the papers today.
Okay, for the next question, how long did the process take of this research?
I'll answer that one too, thanks. I think that it's important to understand that research takes lots of time, especially the conception part. So Teresa has been bubbling away with this project for a really long time, I imagine. But I think we could safely say that from conception of the ideas and then getting it through the process of getting it started to today when we're launching it at this fantastic event was about 10 months.
It's a really long process, but I guess it's very worth it indeed. For the next question, who were the respondents of this research?
Thanks, Royce. We had about 40 practitioners comprising Good Shepherd Sisters and partners in mission from 15 countries who responded first to the quantitative survey that was sent out in January, February this year. They were all exclusively practitioners who work within Good Shepherd Mission, and specifically practitioners who work with girls. And in the second round, in the focus group discussion, we narrowed down the respondents to another 11 practitioners who were selected to participate in 2 focus group discussions. So they were selected based on, the experience on the subject matter, coming from countries that provided significant programs to girls. And also we wanted a diverse representation of Good Shepherd programs in the region. So the second round that we had with the focus group discussion enabled the practitioners to go deeper into the research matter.
Wow, it's really amazing to see. So our authors here have been really inclusive. They haven't left anybody out. They've made sure all voices were heard and everything is rightly put on the research papers. So that was really amazing. So I'm sure working on it for 10 months, you would have had some good insights. So what were your best moments or insights while writing the research?
So there are a number of really fantastic moments in this research. I think for me, the first really fantastic part was getting the survey results back. And there was a really strong indication around how practitioners who work with girls for Good Shepherd services are hopeful for the future, and how they express their desires to see a rights-based approach. I think that was a really great moment. And then obviously the focus group discussions was such an amazing opportunity to speak in more depth with people around some of the issues, and that comes through in the report. But not only just the challenges and the barriers that we face, but also some of the amazing opportunities that Good Shepherd and the girls who access Good Shepherd services can do, and we can do it. I think that's really what came out of the focus group discussion. And then obviously this moment is really great as well, because it's nothing like finishing a project to make one feel really good about it. And I think in saying that, the best thing about it is the way that it looks to the future and how we can, as an organisation, put girls first and be the allies and be supporting girls themselves to make the recommendations and speak to power. And I think that really, especially as we're launching on St. Euphrasia's birthday, it really comes back to the heart of the mission and how we have to enable the girls' voice to come through. And that's the beauty of you guys hosting today as well. So thank you again for that. And especially big thanks to everyone who generously gave their time and their knowledge in participating in this project.
Yeah, I think the main thing when we see the research paper is that it gives us hope and hope for future. And I think that's the first sign of change. When I think Lily said that when you went around for researching, and you could see how they were hopeful for their futures, and when they gave in their inputs for the research, I think hope is just such a positive and happy sign. It makes us believe that we really can change. We can be powerful agents of change. So yeah, this is a really I'm so I'm so hopeful when I read the research paper. I was really just awestruck because to see that how much power we hold, it's so amazing to see how much change we can make.
Of course, as we all hope for the future, my next question is, how do you think this research will benefit Asia Pacific?
Thank you, Royce. I think I speak for both Lily and myself. Aside from what Lily shared for me as from GSIF, I was so excited that we are all able to come together as Asia Pacific to produce our first research document, which is really very significant for us as Good Shepherd in this region. So I have 3 points that I'd like to just share, for this. One is that I hope, that's a very big hope. We hope that this research will enable us to better understand the social and gender norms that impact the girl child in Asia Pacific, and to address this in our programs, irrespective of whether we are from the social services or from the schools. And this will help us to be more systemic in our approach to address root causes as well as the effects of rights violations that we notice, in the experiences of girl children within our system. So that's number one. Number two, I hope that this research will really strengthen our Good Shepherd presence in Asia Pacific as advocates for the girl child. It should enable us to come together as Asia Pacific to have conversations across units and across borders on how we can better collaborate for common issues affecting the girl child, to be purposeful and strong enough to apply for multi-sited grants. That's what GSIF is for, to assist with multi-sited grants and funding to initiate trauma-informed prevention and protection programs, as well as to promote for greater leadership and participation amongst the girls in Asia Pacific. And last but not least, the hope is for us as Good Shepherd. The hope for us as Good Shepherd to be a learning organization that backs up all our grassroots programs with solid research.
轉咗呢個彎之後，右手邊個白色閘門口停㗎啦，唔該。
With solid
Make sure
research,
to mute your microphones.
providing evidence-based outcomes and new pathways for the future. So hopefully we can follow up with a research on the girl child on a deeper scale. Maybe this time involving girls themselves as respondents in the research. So thank you for asking both of us, Lily and myself, to share our experiences in putting together this research. We wish you all the best as you proceed with the rest of the event. Thank you so much.
Everything was indeed insightful from the stand, from what we're fighting for. Good Shepherd acknowledges that the best advocates for girls are girls themselves. Every girl is a powerful agent of change in her own right. I could not have picked a sentence more accurate than this from the research paper as our authors here. Lily and Teresa are proof that girls really are the most powerful agents of change. Thank you, Teresa and Lily, for initiating the research and helping us girls be a part of a moment that will leave its footprints for years to come. Let's turn the leaves of the book and check out the valuable insights. Good Shepherd recognizes that millions of girls are disproportionately disadvantaged in health education, work, and life, especially in the region's poorest countries, particularly due to the pandemic. Here is an infographic presenting the impact of COVID-19 on girls. As changed agents, it is appropriate that we delve into the core of the research document and discern our way forward to enable the rights realization of the millions of girls clamoring for intervention and support. And now, without much ado, let us explore each of these areas, namely access to justice, achieving gender equality, access to quality education, access to health and well-being, and looking into the future. Over to Bava, who will take us forward.
I will now take us through the first segment in the research document, which is access to justice. Across the Asia-Pacific region, the futures of millions of girls are imperiled as the result of unequal rights realization. This is only being made worse by the COVID-19 pandemic, when factors like poverty, disability, or ethnicity intersect, and where gender stereotyping and unequal power relations dominate. Girls at disadvantage is amplified. What is important to girls now and into their future? What is holding girls back from achieving the full realization of their human rights? Access to justice is one of the biggest barriers. While technically the girl child has the same human rights and legal protections as others, in practice, girls can be faced with sex, gender, and age-specific barriers that prevent them from fully enjoying their human rights. There are a few laws and policies that protect girls and women from violence and exploitation, but many girls are disregarded or the challenges they face are concealed. Though such laws exist, the implementation and accessibility is poor and does not reach most girls due to their class, religion, race, background, or because they are migrants, refugees, etc. The access to justice is not equal and quite often unreachable. I quote a practitioner from India from the research document. There are many loopholes. The laws are not sensitive to the girls' needs and feelings. This inhibits the girls from reporting the crime since they are not respected. The country is still patriarchal and the laws are likewise. But the Good Shepherd sisters and partners in mission have always been daring to reach the unreached and make the unheard voices to be heard. This gives me conviction that my voice, let me say our voices, will be heard. Let us listen to a voice from India on the access to justice of girls and women.
I am proud to be a girl. Girls play multiple roles in the household, society, and the economy. Justice is truth in action. Injustice anywhere is threat to justice everywhere. My aspiration to become a lawyer and work towards restoring truth, in other words, justice in action.
Thank you, Good Shepherd Southwest India. You have made me realize that the key to access to justice lies in my hands. Justice is truth in action, and may truth prevail. I am sure this image is close to your hearts. Let me ask this question to everyone here. How many of you have watched Euphrasia the musical? Please use the reaction buttons and chat box to share your responses. Please do comment on the chat box or use your reaction button. Wow, I can see that a lot of people are very enthusiastic. And we've all watched it many times. That's so great. Yes, it was a very brilliant play.
Baba, you're on mute.
Oh. Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone, for your active responses. Yes, indeed, the musical has been the gift for Mother Euphrasia. I had an adventurous trip all the way from Noirmoutier to Angers to India thanks to the musical. 3 cheers to Good Shepherd Singapore, Malaysia for giving me some very cherished and inspiring moments. I am sure many of us will agree. Dear participants, be fully present. During the course of this program, you will receive many valuable takeaways for sure. We will now watch a clip from the musical that shows us how our mother foundress has always been working for us and our justice.
My father once told me, we have a duty to help everyone in need. If you only help those who are like you, what sort of a charity is that?
Well, if that's the case, let me help around your place.
If you want to help, do be my guest. I will tell the countess to pay you 2 francs a day.
That is too much.
Isn't that the normal wage?
For a local cleaner. But I'm not from these lands, Mother. Our wages are much lower. Sometimes we don't even get paid at all.
I don't see why you should get lower pay just because you come from a different place. And don't get me started on not paying.
But that is how things have always been.
Well, things have got to change, Ashura. And a worker must be justly paid.
That was indeed a powerful lesson on just wages. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mama Euphrasia. You have left a mighty legacy for us to continue with. Now I hand it over to Royce to take you through the next segment on gender equality.
Thank you, Bava. And now let us move on to the next important segment for today's launch. Achieving gender equality. Women and girls are being considered inferior and aren't allowed to do certain things because of their gender. Implementation and adaptation of laws for women and girls to improve gender equality are not given enough importance and sometimes even disregarded. It is not easy for a woman or a girl to live in a world where they are thought of as inferior and incompetent. We need to hear the voices of billions of women and girls to bring a change to this unequal world. And today, just by gathering here together, we are taking a first small step. Don't you think so? And of course, I've prepared the poll for you, and let us see what you all think about this. Here goes the question. Do you think that men and women or girls and boys are equal in today's society? Let us participate and answer the poll that will be shared with us today. Okay. Okay, I've been seeing the poll, and may I please request Ms. Teresa to share the poll to everyone?
Yes, thank you, Royce. We have about 213 people on Zoom, and people are still polling. We have about 130 over people polling at the moment. So maybe we'll just wait for 1 or 2 more seconds to enable more people to log in the answers. Okay, I'm going to end the poll now and share screen.
Thank you, Ms. Teresa.
Can you see the results?
Yes, Miss. Thank you very much. And as you can see, there are a lot of people who answered no, meaning gender equality or our genders are not equally stable, or it is not that equal for us. And it is the hindrance that we all are facing nowadays because girls are being very, very for a while. Because girls are very it is being a hindrance, especially from girls, from realizing their full potential, and where the stereotypes are often corrupt our mindsets. And this has been taking a toll of issues and affected us economically, socially, and politically. And to further explain this poll, or to further explain this segment, may I please let us watch this video and presentation from the Philippine Society.
I've
As a teenager and a student, I learned that gender equality in the Philippines should be practiced on a daily basis, for it is the basic human rights of everyone, especially the girls and the women all over the world. Some of the inequalities of women, like at work, has an impact for the country. The little girls who are being bullied maybe because they're just girls, and for us teenagers who are still experiencing stereotyping as well. It's saddening to think that this is reality, and it has to stop. So my wish for my fellow girls and women in the Philippines is to have a great and continuous support for us to boost our confidence until we reach our goals in the future. Empower women to be strong mentally, physically, and emotionally for the future trials. As what I've said, gender equality is a basic human right and is necessary for the whole country too. Again, girls' rights are human rights.
I must say that that video really represents the current situation of girls experiencing gender discrimination. We thank you for having the courage to share your insights in these trying times. Girls are truly empowered. Without further ado, let us introduce our next guest speaker for today's event. Over to you, Fatima.
Thank you, Royce. Hope all of you here have an understanding on sections 4.1 and 4.2. We now have a first guest speaker for today, Sister Winifred Doherty. Sister Winifred is a Good Shepherd sister from Ireland and the congregation's NGO representative to the United Nations since 2008. Sister Winifred collaborates with other NGOs in efforts for poverty eradication, ending prostitution and human trafficking, ending violence against women and girls, and the promotion of the girl child. Sister is a core team member of the NGO Global Coalition for Social Protection Clause, a member of the NGO Committee on the Status of Women, the NGO Committee for Social Development, the NGO Committee on Migration, and the NGO Committee to Stop Trafficking in Person. Sister Winifred, thank you for joining us from the other side of the world at this untimely hour. It's almost midnight there in NYC, but we know Sister Winifred is truly energized, which only shows her passion for change. Without taking more of your time, over to you, Sister, to share your reflections with us.
Thank you very much, Fatima, and indeed to all of you girl hosts who are facilitating us tonight as we launch this very important research. I'm very happy to be here with you all and with all of the participants throughout Asia Pacific. And I'm very happy to note that Claire Nolan is online, who is my companion and my guide and my mentor here at the United Nations. And really, she has shown the way for us. So thank you, Claire. Firstly, what do I want to say? I want to say congratulations, sincere congratulations to all who have worked on this research. It is a great achievement, and to have a document that is focusing on understanding as practitioners what girls' rights attainment really is. So it's a unique perspective in terms of it looking at how the practitioners are thinking and feeling. It's a very comprehensive overview, and the analysis of data is very up to date and quoting many documents that are this year and last year, which are hugely relevant to girls' rights. But there is room to dig deeper, and I think that's going to come up in another phase. As I said, it has the most up-to-date references and even addresses the impact of COVID-19. Now, it challenges us practitioners on the need to continually reflect on our own personal experiences as girls, and indeed as boys, as men and women, what happened to us in our own childhoods, and how is that impacting our practice? And I think on top of all of that reflection, we are called to have a critical evaluation of past and present Good Shepherd culture in relation to girls and girls' rights. And I was so happy to see again the snippet from the St. Mary Euphrasia musical. She truly was a woman ahead of her time, talking about just wages. We still haven't reached that in the 21st century. I am in admiration of the great contribution made by the province of Australia, New Zealand, under the leadership of John Dre and Laura, and really admire and applaud the work of Lily Gardner, the coordinator of the project. And as we heard in the interview, all of this was done under the fearless leadership of Teresa Simmons, who is always to the fore, a true good shepherd, guiding us in the paths, verdant pastures, into new ways, all the time ahead and beckoning us to come forward. So thank you, Teresa, for your leadership. And I know there were many others behind the scenes without whom this research could not be achieved. Technicians, printers, layout, graphic designers, etc., and many others. And not forgetting, most of all, the people who sometimes are hidden, and they're the people who completed the surveys. That's sometimes the hardest thing to do, I know, to answer the questions. And then not alone answer the questions, but then come together in focus groups to continue to elaborate on what is the experience. And truly, I think this has been a team effort, and congratulations to everybody in Asia Pacific. I am excited reading this document and urge that it be used as a source and foundation document along with the position paper on the girl child. I think it has to be part and parcel with that position paper. And my hope when I was writing this, and I think it's already happening in this presentation, would be that the girls would learn about this document and that it would be presented to them, and indeed in all our projects, for their comments as we invite girls to be our partners in mission, to realize their rights locally, nationally, and globally. Girls, partners in mission. Girls around the world are coming together to speak out. And I think if I was to ask Claire to speak, she would say, yes, yes, it's happening. And it's happening in new ways every day. And I am so proud that you in Asia Pacific have facilitated girls' representation from the Good Shepherd schools in India and Sri Lanka, taking the lead in the global advocacy letter writing to world leaders just before the Generation Equality Forum that was held in Paris. And this was our attempt. And again, I am so happy that the girls were there, because it was our attempt to have the voices of girls raised to that level, that they're speaking to the global leaders. And they were saying what has been the experience throughout the whole of the process over 2.5 years. Girls' voices have not been heard and not listened to. It's tokenism. It's, oh, we'll listen. Oh, maybe tomorrow. Oh, yeah, they can say something. But girls are hugely important. And to conclude, I would like to pick up 1 or 2 important insights from the practitioners. And the first had to do with the invisibility of girls that is raised throughout the document. And secondly, the assumption that we adults know what girls need. I think these are 2 hugely important insights. And I want to just go quickly to section 5, where we talk about good shepherds as agents of change. And I would like to make the following observation. Yes, indeed, Good Shepherd Sisters, mission partners, the institution of Good Shepherd, the congregation of Good Shepherd is indeed an agent of change. But we are all, everybody, an agent of change in our own areas. And certainly the GSIF in Asia Pacific is such an agent at the practical level. And they have never lost sight of girls advocacy, girls empowerment, and girls need to be at the table. And that it's they themselves, girls as agents of change, that must be partners with us in mission. This is the most concrete and effective way to address the invisibility of girls. And I think that you are seeing this in the first of your recommendation on page 30, when you talk about by girls, with girls, and for girls. I applaud you for writing that into the document. And the second recommendation is, I think, becoming more and more self-evident. And that is, yes, boys and men are also key partners with us. And I've seen Uber from the Netherlands with us tonight. I don't know who else from the boys and men are with us, but we need to ensure that they're with us as we work for gender equality. And the third recommendation is the need for critical research on the magnitude of all forms of violence against girls. And this is the proposal for going forward. And I would really hope that that happens. And my dream that girls from your platform would do a shadow report on the implementation of the CRC, the Convention on the Rights of the Child, as a pilot for replication in other countries. It's a national effort, and I think we're laying the groundwork to be able to do that. Your graphic on the core basic rights in the document on page 11 is the foundation to all this work. And also, I want to highlight another important point that's in the document, getting to the links between girlhood and womanhood, reviewing and addressing the issues of the critical importance of pre and postnatal care, working with mothers, good nutrition, early childhood development, focusing on the first 100 days and the first 5 years of life. This lays the best foundation for girls into the future. So I think while we are bringing girls to the fore, we can never forget what needs to be done in terms of helping mothers, young mothers, mothers to be, ensuring access to health and all that's necessary for them. And of course, nutrition is a huge challenge in these days of COVID, when hunger and poverty are increasing throughout the world. There is no doubt that all these issues and well-being are political issues. And you note the lack of political will, coupled with patriarchal attitudes that demean and belittle the feminine. And on top of that, we are encountering a specific backlash against gender equality these days. So I think the scene is set for Good Shepherd in Asia Pacific and Good Shepherd throughout the world to be having girls as our partners in mission and being to the fore, echoing the words of Hillary Clinton when she was in Beijing in 1995, girls' rights are human rights and human rights are girls' rights. So thank you very much and congratulations to everybody. Thank you again, Fatima, for allowing me to speak.
Thank you so much, Sister Winifred, for your valuable sharing with us. You are truly remarkable. Thank you for being our inspiration to be a powerful agent of change. Your deep research has given us really powerful insights of the research papers. You have so wonderfully summarized the research for us. We will make sure that we are a part of the shadow research and make our Good Shepherd congregation proud and make sure that our voices are heard. Thank you so much for summarizing that research, sister. With that,
Thank you,
it's
Fatima.
time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. With that, it's time for us to move on to the next section. Over to Shane to help us understand and explain further.
Sure thing, Fatima. Now, let us talk about access to quality education. People say that education is the most effective path to achieving an equal world. It is important because it teaches children and young people how to make recent choices in life so they can build their resilience and develop coping mechanisms. It is also said that education is a major factor in attaining growth in the whole country. That being said, let me ask you a question. How important is access to education to you? You can use the chat box to answer that question. Feel free to answer, everyone. Again, the question is, how important is access to education?
Mute your mics and can we please have the next slide? Yes, this is the question. Please feel free to use the chat box to respond to the question.
Yes, feel free, everyone, to answer the question. Oh, very, very important. I agree. And let me see. Crucial. Very, very important. Extremely important. Very, very important. I agree. Well, how would you react if I tell you that not all young people like us are given the opportunity to have proper education? According to the Consortium for Research on Educational Access, Transitions and Equity of the University of Sussex, over 60 million primary school-aged children are out of school. Another 60 million students in lower secondary school do not attend. The COVID-19 pandemic has posed a particular threat to girls' education, particularly for girls from low-income families and those living in rural areas. Prior to the pandemic, 15 million girls are already out of school in the region. Also, many girls who do not have access to technology find it very hard to continue their studies. Now, to help us understand this issue more, we will now have a video presented from Myanmar about the access to quality education.
Quality education ကတမီးတဲ့အရန်ကိုအရေးကြီးပါတယ်။ဒီပညာရေးကိုရမယ်ဆိုရင်တမီးရဲ့ရည်မှန်းချက်ပန်းတိုင်ဖြစ်တဲ့စီးပွားရေးလုပ်ငန်းရှင်ကြီးတယောက်ဖြစ်ဖို့လည်းအရန်ကိုထောက်ကူပြုတယ်။ဒီလုပ်ငန်းထဲဝင်မယ်ဆိုရင်တမီးရဲ့မိသားစုစီးပွားရေးအခြေအနေလည်းတိုးတက်လာမယ်။ပြီးတော့ပတ်ဝန်းကျင်မှာအခက်အခဲရှိနေတဲ့လူတွေကိုလည်းကူညီပေးနိုင်မယ်လို့မျှော်လင့်ပါတယ်။ဆီယမတွေတင်ပေးတဲ့လောက်ပဲယူရတဲ့ပညာရေးမျိုးမလို့ချင်ဘူးကိုတိုင်းကိုလိုချင်တဲ့လောက်ကိုလိုအပ်တဲ့လောက်ပေးနိုင်မယ့်ပညာရေးမျိုးလိုချင်တယ်။တမီးကဆရာဝန်တယောက်ဖြစ်ချင်တယ်ဖြစ်လာခဲ့ပြီဆိုရင်လည်းပညာတွေကိုဆက်ရှာဖွေခြင်းတည်းရဲ့ကိုယ့်အရေးချင်းကိုထုတ်ဖော်ခြင်းတည်းရဲ့ခင်မရဲ့စေဝါတွေကိုလည်းစမ်းသပ်ဖော်ထုတ်ခြင်းတည်းရဲ့အမေအားကြောင့်ထုခုဆရာဝန်တယောက်ဖြစ်ခြင်းနဲ့ဖြစ်လာတဲ့အချိန်မှာကျောင်းတွေမှာဖြစ်လာတဲ့ယောဂသစ္စာတွေအတွက်ဆေးတွေဖော်ထုတ်ပြီးတော့ကုသပေးခြင်းတည်းရဲ့အမေကရိုးထုခုဆရာဝန်တယောက်ဖြစ်ခြင်းပါတယ်အဲ့လိုဖြစ်လာခဲ့ရင်မရှိသေးတဲ့စေဝါတွေကိုလည်းတီထွင်နိုင်မယ်ကဘာတဝမ်းကိုလည်းအထောက်အကူပြုမယ်မိသားစုနဲ့ပတ်ဝန်းကျင်ကိုလည်းကူညီထောက်ပံ့ပေးနိုင်မယ်မတတ်နိုင်တဲ့လူတွေကိုလည်းကူညီထောက်ပံ့ပေးနိုင်ပါမယ်
Okay, thank you, Myanmar, for sharing that wonderful video. These wonderful girls also believe that quality education is the bridge to success. We all have dreams, goals, or desires in life, and quality education is indeed important to attain our personal goals. So don't be afraid to dream because dreamers go to be independent and oftentimes accomplish great things in life. Now, take a look at this graph, which shows the current priority of girls accessing Good Shepherd services. Based on the survey conducted by the Good Shepherd, completing their education is the most important to them right now. Education in particular was seen as crucial in challenging discriminatory norms while also promoting improved financial security for girls in their adult years. With the help of quality education, girls will get a chance to learn more about their rights and the opportunities they have. Now that I've given you information about quality education, it is time to shift to another topic which will be introduced and discussed by Fat.
Yes, thank you so much, Shane. I hope all of you have an understanding of the section that was explained by Shane. Now, before we delve into the details of this topic, quality health and well-being, I have a question for you. Please feel free to use the chat box to respond. Do you think that poor healthcare can affect the quality and access to education of girls and women? If yes, how? Please do use the chat box to respond. The question is also up on the screen. Do you think that poor healthcare can affect the quality and access to education for girls? Yes, health is really wealth. If I don't think, if we're not healthy, it can affect everything that we do. So I think that is so important. I can see many responses coming in. Yes, affects mental health. Yes. Holistic development. That is so true. I think without health, there cannot be a holistic development of a child because poor healthcare can affect not only physically but also mentally. It affects the development of mind. It hinders their access to education. Yes. Yes, all of these responses are absolutely right. Everybody putting in the chat box, you all are absolutely correct. Now, let me show you. In this section, the research shows how unavailability of quality healthcare and well-being not only affects the physical and mental state of women and girls, but also adversely impacts their quality of education. Some of the key barriers for accessing quality healthcare identified by practitioners with geographical location, that is the urban and rural divide, class and ethnicity, infrastructure and medical professional availability, affordability, that is, the private sector and the public sector, how the affordability, the prices can vary, COVID-19 and e-health, reinforced by the digital divide. They expressed concern that due to the prolonged lockdowns, uncertainty, economic stress on families, and the loss of the school support system and routines negatively impacted hard-earned gains in girls' education and the availability of safe spaces for girls. Psychological stress and mental health issues resulting from COVID-19 was also an issue that was raised by girls from Good Shepherd programs in India, Indonesia, Myanmar, Philippines, and Sri Lanka in a Good Shepherd CSW 65 panel event, GSIF Asia Pacific 2021. Now, to better understand how health can affect access and quality to education, we will watch a video from Indonesia, which discusses the impact of poor healthcare facilities to girls.
Hai, saya Sari. Saya tinggal di Desa Bandasari, Kalimantan Barat, Indonesia. Saya bermimpi akses dan fasilitas kesehatan di daerah saya lebih baik lagi. Di desa saya hanya ada seorang bidan tanpa dokter. Untuk pergi ke rumah sakit, kami harus menempuh jarak setengah jam dari rumah. Di masa pandemi ini, saya berharap pemerintah juga memberikan vaksin kepada pelajar agar dapat belajar di sekolah dengan aman. Saya mengalami belajar di sekolah lebih efektif dan fokus. Saya juga berharap anak perempuan di tempat saya lebih menyadari pentingnya menjaga kesehatan, khususnya di masa pandemi ini. Jika tubuh kita sehat, kita akan lebih semangat dalam belajar. Semoga ada anak perempuan di daerah kami yang menjadi dokter dan bisa melayani daerah pedalaman.
you so much, Indonesia, for that video and enlightening us on the difficulties that they face there. In this video, we saw Sari from Indonesia explaining explaining her difficulties that she had been facing in accessing healthcare due to her location, and also how the pandemic made it difficult for them to focus on their studies due to e-learning. This was only one voice who voiced out her concerns. Who knows how many more saris are out there? Who knows how many more unheard voices are out there? Let's ponder on it and assess how privileged we are and move on to the next section. Royce will now take over to introduce our next guest speaker for today.
Thank you, Fatima. We now have our guest speaker, Christina Durante. Christina Durante is the director of the Good Shepherd International Foundation and contributed to the establishment of GSIF in 2008. Christina leads a team of 21 partners in mission who are located in Rome, Bolivia, Malaysia, and Nepal. Collectively, they support the congregation's development projects in 35 countries globally. So now, let us welcome Christina to share her message to all of us.
I think I've just got the message now. Christina is having a problem with her connectivity. So instead of Ms. Christina, we will have Teresa Simmons who will take over.
Hi, everyone. I do apologize on behalf of Christina that her internet connectivity wherever she is at the moment in the south of Italy is very poor and she's not able to join us. But before she left us, she gave a few words that she would like me to read to everyone. So I'm conveying Christina's message to everyone now. My warmest congratulations to the authors. And I just want to say how much GSIF believes in research and joining forces internationally to learn more about our programs and the people whom we serve, to adopt a robust, evidence-based approach to programming. This is a great model for collaboration across the region, and we want to encourage and are willing to sponsor this same initiative in other regions and globally. This research is such an awesome example of good ministry practice, of an attempt to flesh out the attainment of the rights of the girl child in Asia Pacific. It warms my heart and gives us a possibility of being better in our programming to incorporate the rights-based approach in all our interventions. And over time, we will be able to change the exploitation experienced by girls from the lens of asking ourselves if our interventions are effective and relevant. You are showing GSIF the way forward, and for this, we are extremely grateful. And that ends Christina's short message to all of us. Thank you for this opportunity of asking Christina to share.
Thank you, Miss. Thank you, ma'am, for the insightful speech. I thank Miss Christina. Indeed, this research gives us an opportunity to voice out our rights. This gives us a new step, a first step to overcoming the gender stereotypes that we have. And now, may I call on Bava or Shane to introduce our next segment.
Yes, thank you, Royce. Now we have look into the future. It is important for us to look towards the future and discern what support systems should be in place for girls to attain their rights. According to the research, the first important element is prevention and protection. Prevention and protection. Violence against women and girls is a violation of human rights, and the immediate and long-term physical, sexual, and mental effects for women and girls, including death, can be catastrophic. These inequalities that girls experience might begin at birth and continue throughout their lives. Girls in some nations lack access to healthcare and sufficient nutrition, resulting in a higher mortality rate. Gender-based violence holds girls back. And with the current COVID-19 pandemic, violence against women and girls has worsened, notably in but not limited to the domestic sphere. While it is crucial to understand the law's limitations, the gap between law and practice, and the problem of victims' access to available services, Good Shepherd's findings show that the creating and upholding laws are important steps toward ensuring protection for girls, particularly in the post COVID world. We will now move on to the next element, which is leadership and participation. Over to you, Val.
Thank you, Shane. Leadership and participation. Women's equal participation and leadership in political and public life is very essential. It will help bring about actual change that will be beneficial to all women. But it is not easy for a woman to participate in political and public life. They must face discrimination and other barriers that stem from economic, social, and cultural issues, as well as from negative stereotypes and dictated gender roles. Girls also need role models to give them an example of all the possibilities and opportunities they have in life. We also need role models to let girls know nothing is impossible, to let girls dream, to guide girls in the right path. When we have women that represent the voices of every girl, of every woman, I'm sure we will all have a chance to be heard, a chance to bring a change to this unjust world. Don't you think so, Shane?
Yes, I am sure it will. Now, let us watch this video from Sri Lanka about looking to the future.
வண்ணமயமான எதிர்காலத்தை கனவு காண்பதில் என் ஆற்றலும் அதிக ஆசையும் காணப்படுகின்றன. ஒரு குருவி அதன் கூட்டை எவ்வளவு ஆவலுடன் அமைக்கிறதோ அதுபோல் குழந்தைகளாகிய எங்கள் மனதிலும் பல கனவுகள் காணப்படுகின்றன.
Thank you, Sri Lanka, for that wonderful video. It indeed inspires us to dream of a colorful future.
At this juncture, let us pause and reflect over what has been unfolding this last 1 hour. I invite you to connect with yourself. What is the feeling that is rising in your heart about girls' rights as Good Shepherd? Please share that one word which is rising in your heart in the Mentimeter link, which will be posted in the chat box. The Mentimeter link has been posted in the chat box. Please answer the question.
Hopefully all of you are able to access the link. If not, please let us know.
Again, the question is, what is the feeling that is rising in your heart about girls' rights as Good Shepherd? You can also use the chat box if you cannot access the Mentimeter.
Ooh, so we
Sabha, you're
have
on
few.
mute.
possibility, hopeful. I agree.
We are also getting comments on the chat box. Proud, hopeful, powerful, proud, energized.
Energized. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for all
On
your
the
answers.
Mentimeter, I can see that proud and hopeful are being repeated again and again. Looks like a lot of people are putting that out. GS can stand together, understanding, not giving up, possibility, a need.
Love. Powerful, hopeful, energized, encourage, empowering, provide opportunity, inspiring. I agree.
We can change the world. I'm proud to be a girl. Not to give up, enthusiastic, lovable, change makers. Wow, these are all amazing words. Thank you so much.
Thank you for all your answers.
It's a powerful word, isn't it?
Upholding. Thank you everyone for that.
Thank you so much for participating in the Mentimeter. We now have Sanjana Angelin, a student of grade 12 from Good Shepherd, Chennai. Sanjana is an activist who strives to live by the quote of St. Mary Euphrasia saying, "What are we doing in this world and why are we here, if not to contribute to the well-being of our neighbors?" I invite Sanjana to share the recommendations of the research with us.
Thank you, Baba. As a girl, I've always felt helpless about things happening in the world. I grew up listening to stories on unequal rights, disproportionate opportunities, harassment, rape, gender-based violence, and always felt so desolate, scared that I wouldn't be able to impact the world in a way that mattered. But the pandemic in the past 1.5 years helped me understand that indeed I could. It was during this time of crisis, as an outcome of the International Day of the Girl Child 2020, that the research has emerged. As we have been discussing and understanding, I'm completely in awe and overwhelmed by the data collected for the understanding of girls' rights attainment across Asia Pacific and commend the authors Lily Gardner and Teresa Simmons. I have been privileged enough to attend many girls' conversation circles where girl activists come together to urge policymakers and leaders of the world to take action. And the crux of almost every conversation circle was just that: to take action, to move forward, to carry the candle and light the world of those girls, those without access to justice, education, healthcare, and equality, which most of us take for granted. While this research has helped understand how Good Shepherd practitioners view and understand how girls access or do not access their rights, the next step is for us to listen to girls themselves and reflect on their programming and advocacy. Some of the recommendations arising from the research include Good Shepherd programs across Asia Pacific collaborate as one voice to promote regional initiatives led by girls, with girls, for girls, to raise awareness on overarching issues faced by the girl child. Around the world, girls are driving change. Malala Yousafzai, Greta Thunberg, Julia Martinez, Emma Gonzalez, much like our hosts and participants for today. They are activists and advocates on the front lines of movements for social and racial equality. They are calling for urgent climate action and demanding space at decision-making tables in their communities, countries, and beyond. Girls-led movements are indeed the need of the hour, as the attainment of girls' rights is impossible without the inclusion of girls themselves in these movements. But these movements cannot stop with just girls. Good Shepherd programs across Asia Pacific must include and engage boys and men in realizing gender inequality and how they can be part of systemic change, as gender equality cannot be attained with only half the world's population working towards it. It's time the privileged gender took a step forward and joined our movement for equality, and it is time that we helped them do the same. Another recommendation arising is to conduct a follow-through research, providing more platforms to engage girls, their families, and immediate communities to speak for themselves on issues affecting the girl child and to share their insights and recommendations on intervention approaches. This follow-through research would be to collect data on the magnitude of all forms of violence against girls and assess the effects of prevention and response strategies in the Asia-Pacific region. Replication of the research to other regions where the Good Shepherd International Foundation and the units are engaged in programs for the girl child. Utilization of this research as a resource for the capacity development of sisters and partners in missions and social services and schools, especially those having direct contact with girls. There is a need to recognize and be familiar with the intersectionality of all the Sustainable Development Goals and other international treaties in advocating for the rights of the girl child. This is important as systemic change can only happen if the change makers are aware of the influence they have and contribution that they make at all levels of the circle of care surrounding the girl child. The research shows the many ways that Good Shepherd Asia Pacific fills gaps and seeks to ensure a better life for the girl child within the services. But not all programs adequately address the need for systemic change. Insights from the research could, and I'm sure will be used to create a mechanism that enable girls to mobilize and advocate for girls alongside practitioners advocating for justice. The launch of the research is presenting us with an opportunity to create an impact that matters. With the data, knowledge, and understanding that the research has provided us, the recommendations guide us in how we can take this forward. As is written in the research, it is up to you to make it possible that those exhausted and lost in the world should find strength in the shade of this healing tree. And with that, I hand it over back to the host. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Sanjana, for giving us recommendations for a hopeful and changed world. You truly have given us beautiful insights for the recommendations. We will present to you now yet another clip from the musical that portrays Mary Euphrasia's determination to reach out anywhere and everywhere. It will help us understand that there are no barriers when you wish to go out and do something good. As we have mentioned before, please do pay close attention to the clip because it might help in a small activity we have planned for you.
Now then, let us rouse up ourselves and go forward and erect your tents from one end of the earth to another. Love all persons, whatever their background, their nationality, their race. Devote yourselves to their happiness. Love is our banner. Let it fly proudly wherever we go.
We hope you were able to hear the audio. If yes, please give us a thumbs up. Yeah? Yeah, there was sound on mine too. Okay. That was a powerful clip indeed, wasn't it? As Mary Euphrasia's daughters, it is our duty to make sure that we live by her word and spread love around and make it our banner from one end of the earth to another. After all, that is what binds us together as one. With that beautiful message in mind, it's time to introduce our next guest speaker, Stella Avramopoulos.
We now have our next guest speaker who has played a pivotal role in this research by contributing her part from GS Australia, New Zealand, Stella Aramopoulos. Stella has been the CEO of Good Shepherd Australia New Zealand since February 2018. As leader of this community services organization, she continues her commitment to disrupting cycles of disadvantage, especially for women and children. Stella is also president of the Victorian Council of Social Service and holds positions on the Family Peace Foundation Board and the National Centre for Social Impact Studies Advisory Board. We're so grateful to have you on board with us today, Stella. Over to you to share your thoughts with us. You're on mute, Ms. Stella.
Thank you. Can everyone hear me now? Great.
Yep.
Thank you very much for this opportunity to participate in the launch of a really important and, as Sister Winifred said, found what I think is a foundational document. Congratulations, firstly, to everyone involved, GSIF, for those people and sisters historically who have paved the way for us to prepare reports today and have come before us. Thank you. I acknowledge those efforts. I'm very proud in particular of my team and the hard work that they've put in. Thank you so much. I want to say that for me, as a former practitioner in Australia, who then became a CEO, how very important this document is to really showcase that we are compelled in the delivery of our mission to equip practitioners to understand service models and the core of the work, and ensure that in this case, human rights-based approaches are the very heart of the service that we are delivering globally. I'm incredibly excited that we have come together as one Good Shepherd to pull together the information resources. And, we can see just on this Zoom what happens when we act collectively and work as one. The report certainly showcases that investing in girls' education, health and economic participation remains essential to achieving those SDGs and gender equality. And education in particular, actually, is also being showcased as something that is critical for climate change into the future. And that's something I just want to put out there for us to think about in the future. We are an organisation, a network globally that is undergoing significant transformation in a COVID world. And we are right this minute preparing for the future. What I am so hopeful about this report and the process and the relationships that this report has created is that it's going to ensure that the girls that we work with and for, and the practitioners that are supporting them on the front line, are at the core and in the middle of our work. To all of you, I want to say that we see you and we hear you. And as leaders in this network organisation, we are going to prepare the future with you and for you, because without you in the core of what we do, we don't have mission. And so I'm very excited about the future and can't wait to see what all of you do next and how we can collectively come together again in the future. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you so much, Ms. Stella, for your powerful thoughts. You've given us the hope and courage and the push we needed, and we are just waiting to go out there and get all the rights that we need for us. Thank you so much. Now, how can we make a Mother Foundresses Day special without some fun and celebration? That's right. It's now time to get your party hats on and get ready. You really do not want to miss what's coming for you right now. Over to Royce to start the fun with some music.
This day will not be complete if we won't sing a happy birthday song to our Mother Foundress Saint Mary Euphrasia. Let us have the girls from Sri Lanka to sing us a very exquisite song.
Ma.
Rose Virginie Pelletier was born in Noirmoutier-en-France on 31st of July 1796. She cared for children, young girls, and women in difficulty. Rose Virginie is a foundress of the Sisters of Our Lady of Charity of the Good Shepherd. On this 225th birthday anniversary of Rose Virginie Pelletier was also known as Saint Mary Euphrasia. We, as her daughters, lift our hearts and voices as we sing this song of tribute to thank our God for the gift of her life and ask our God, Lord Jesus, to give us the daring passion of Saint Mary Euphrasia to respond to a prophetic way to the urgent needs of our times. Bon anniversaire, Rose Virginie. Happy birthday, Rose Virginie, our mother foundress. Bon anniversaire.
On this special day we sing, happy birthday, Mother Foundress. Celebrate you today with love and reverence. Your life is a blessing, a motivator and lover of Christ. You showed us the path of life by living for the glory of God. With grateful hearts we sing, happy birthday to you, our mentor, and pray that the bond between us grows stronger. May your passion for God grow in us, your daughters. Happy birthday, dearest mother, we sing. Happy birthday to you. Saint Euphrasia, our mother, bless your children with grace and wisdom. The happiness you brought to those whom you served and to the abandoned. On this your birthday, share with us the love of Jesus, that we become our Lord's vessels to be used at His command. With grateful hearts we sing, happy birthday to you, our mentor, and pray that the bond between us grows stronger. May your passion for God grow in us, your daughters. Happy birthday, dearest mother, we sing. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dearest mother, we sing. Happy birthday to you.
moment, can we all just please take a moment to applaud how well they have choreographed the whole music video with the lyrics and the, everything. Wasn't it just wonderful? Can I see reactions from everybody? Wasn't it such a wonderful song? With the choreography for the dance and the music and the lyrics and everything, wasn't it just wonderful? It sounded heavenly.
Wow, that was indeed a lovely performance by Sri Lanka. Don't you think, Bava?
Yes, it was definitely amazing. Maybe now we can take time to send in your birthday wishes for St. Mary Euphrasia in the chat box. Please do send her your wishes.
It is indeed her birthday today, so let's make sure we all don't forget that and wish a happy birthday to Euphrasia as she's present with us here today.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of birthday wishes.
Because of her that we are able to connect from various places and countries and regions at different times. It is because of her that we have, she was the one who initiated everything. So I think if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't even be here right now. So I think that is one thing we can all be really, really grateful for, that she gave us the opportunity for change. She started change, and as said by everybody, that she was way ahead of her time, like Sister Winifred had mentioned. She was so way ahead of her time back in her days, fighting for justice and just wages. And I think she was the one who started the change and fire and zeal that is in all of us to bring about change. So I think we can all agree on that. I can see many wishes coming in the chat box. Stay tuned because we still have a lot of stuff coming up for you.
Thank you so much for all your wishes. I'm sure Mother Euphrasia will be very happy. But the fun isn't over yet. We still have something in store for you. Over to Shane.
Okay, how about we continue the fun? Everybody prepare your cell phones or laptops because we will be having a kahoot. Kindly follow the instructions provided.
Yes, we will
First,
be having a game of
you
kahoot.
can open the internet browser on your gadget. Yes. First, you can open your internet browser on your gadget, any gadget, cell phone or laptop. Then go to www.kahoot.it, or you can also use the Kahoot app. And remember, you will be required to enter the game pin, and we will give the game pin later. And there will be 6 to 7 questions. To answer, click on the shape which indicates the correct answer. Again, remember to click the shape of the correct answer. The quicker you are, the faster you can climb on the leaderboard. The game pin and the Kahoot will be up to 20 seconds to respond. You can go to Kahoot and enter game pin 8079300.
I hope all of you are able to access the game and are able to log in. The game pin is put in the chat box, 8079300. Let's all get ready for some fun. And the Kahoot will be based on everything that was said and done in the session today. So we will also be testing how much you were listening today. So get ready to get tested on your knowledge of today's session.
Yes, we encourage you to join from another device, a mobile phone if possible, but any device is okay, whatever you have. Write a short name so that you can be recognized on the leaderboard. For those who are not able to join in, don't worry, simply watch the screen and use the chat box to participate. We would really love it for all of you to engage yourself and participate in this. We have Miss Sashi who will share the screen and will lead you through this fun Kahoot. Looks like we already have quite a few participants. Please do join in.
Thank you everyone for participating, and for the others, you can also participate. You can join in.
We have 184 of you on here. I think we can have at least 50 or 100 participants before we begin.
Don't worry, it's not going to be tough. It's not an exam. It's just for a little bit of fun.
If anybody is having difficulty in logging in, please do let us know. Even if you aren't able to, just simply use the chat box to respond. If you have any questions as well, you can ask us.
We also encourage the viewers on YouTube to join the game. Just go to www.kahoot.it and put the game pin in and a short name for yourself.
We will be starting the game when we reach around 50 participants or so. So make sure you're there.
Baba, I think you're on mute.
Yeah, we have a lot of people joining us and the number is increasing. So great. We have Sarah, Satya, Emily. You can even put in funny names. Anything is okay. Just join in for a little bit of fun at the end. Yeah, we reached 50. So those of you who are joining in, join in fast if you can, and we can start.
We have some people joining in. We'll wait for a few seconds more and then we will begin. Sure you're there.
Sorry. Oh, we have so many people joining us. Alice, Anita, Gloria, Trinita, Jin, Tanya from India.
I'll repeat the process if it wasn't clear for some people. You can go to an internet browser on your mobile or laptop. Go to kahoot.it. Simply type Kahoot on Google or any internet browser. Click on the first link, and the first link should ask you for the game pin. The game pin, as you can see on the screen, it is 8079300. Once you enter the game pin, you will have to enter a nickname for yourself. You can, as Sanjana has put in the chat box, you can name yourself with your name and country, unit, or region so that we can appreciate you better if you're on the leaderboard. And yeah, I hope the instructions were clear. And I think we can begin now.
Yes, we will begin now. And each question has 20 seconds. Which birth anniversary of our mother foundress are we celebrating today? Come on, put in your answers.
No, is Mother Euphrasia the best? Answer is great. The faster you respond, the more your score is.
Yes.
Yes, 225.
That's
Wow,
right.
all of you know what's going on. Okay, that's great.
Amazing. All of you are paying attention.
Have on the leaderboard, we know is up on the leaderboard with 960 points.
Prince Hussein is in far back, only 10 points.
Now
What
for
were the
the
words?
second question. What were the words told to Rose Virginie by her father? You only have 20 seconds, so you can all answer now.
I can help with dinner.
All right, be careful.
Is she going to help with dinner today? Okay, be careful and remember what Papa always says. Be the light
in someone's day.
Perfect.
That was the answer. And how many of you got it right? Let's see. Yeah, 22 of you got it right. That is correct. Be the light in someone's day. Ooh, we
now
have the
Hannah's
leaderboard
leading.
changed up. All right, that is great.
Okay, so the next one is the true or false. May Euphrasia was born in Noirmoutier.
Fast responses. Okay, I think all of you know. True, yes.
Noirmoutier is a small island in the northwest of France where Rose Virginie spent her early years with her family and also learned some powerful spiritual lessons.
That is amazing. 51 of you got it right. Sarah's leading now. Okay.
Wow, this is getting competitive.
Yeah, I can see many of you, your competitive side's on. All right, next question.
Next question for the fourth question. Who are the authors of the research document? You can all answer that. That's very...
Who was said today? If you don't know this, then you were not paying attention at all.
Ooh, we have so many answers. 43 got it right. Congratulations. That's our dynamic co-authors of this powerful research.
And looks like Sarah is still in the lead.
Congratulations, Sarah. Keep it up.
Now we have a quiz. What is the title of the research document? This might be a bit tricky, so I think you need to read the choices well. Yeah, looks like most of you got the right answer. That's great. A Good Shepherd Practitioner Understanding of Girls' Rights Attainment. Yes, this is the title. We hope that many of us girls will benefit from this research document, and many of our sisters and partners in mission will help us in this journey. And Hannah takes the lead. Congratulations, Hannah.
Now for the next question.
Two more questions.
Yes. What does this image refer to in Rose Virginie's life? There's more than one right answer. This is a fun but insightful story that hopefully everyone learns from. I'm sure all of us enjoyed listening to this story. I repeat, there
Can
is
be a
more
little
than
tricky
one
one.
answer. Yes.
There is more than one answer.
Ooh. I see. Nice. Okay. So 20 of you got it right. Nice.
Okay, I think this is the last question, so make sure you're all participating.
Yes, this is a poll. It's up to you. The message is up to you. So just click one that all of you think is apt. What is your best takeaway? Wow, we've gotten a lot for Be the Light in Someone's Day. And after that, we have go out and do something good. And then I belong to every country where there are souls to be saved. And then gratitude is the memory of the heart. I think all of these are very important. And I think, at least to me, I think I can take away something from all of these messages. Thank you for your responses. It's really wanted to see your views and thoughts on the quotes.
All right, let's see who the winner is. Okay, the third place we have Kukai TH, Sarah, second place, and number 1, Hannah. Congratulations, you know the best for this event today. Congratulations to you and everybody who participated. Can we use the reactions to show the appreciation? All right, great. I hope all of you had some fun. If yes, just show us your reactions. Yeah, I hope that was fun.
Participating in that, I had a lot of fun.
Kahoots are always fun, right? And it was a good way of testing all of you. And I think now we know all of you, at least, even if you didn't know some of the answers, I hope all of you now are aware of what our Mother Foundress has, all of the information about our Mother Foundress. Okay, I think with that, we can move on to the next thing for today. As we near the end of today's event, we have our guest speaker, Sister Salome Cruz, with us today. Sister Salome is the leader of the province of Spomatia, as well as the coordinator of the Good Shepherd Asia Pacific Circle of Leaders. Sister Salome will be representing the Circle of Leaders as she shares her words of gratitude. Over to you, Sister.
Okay. Right. So thank you, Fatima. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all. On behalf of Asia Pacific Circle, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to all who had contributed towards this research paper entitled A Good Shepherd Practitioner's Understanding of Girls' Rights Attainment, a review of rights realization by girls in Asia Pacific. This research paper is truly a significant achievement which brought Asia Pacific region together with a common focus to promote girls' rights, which are human rights. Today, as we celebrate the birthday of St. Mary Euphrasia, the launch of this research paper is a meaningful birthday gift for her. We would like to thank the many people who worked silently for many months to bring forth this research paper to completion. First, grateful thanks to Ms. Lily Gardner of Good Shepherd Australia, New Zealand, and Ms. Teresa Simmons, Asia Pacific Regional Manager of Mission Development Office, the authors of this research paper. To all the practitioners who participated in the survey and focus group discussions from the various countries in Asia Pacific, we acknowledge their contribution to shape this document. We express our gratitude to the province of Good Shepherd Australia, New Zealand, and Good Shepherd International Foundation for their support and co-sponsoring this research paper. A big thank you to you, Winifred, Christina, and Stella, for your valuable insights on the research paper from your lens as experts in your respective roles. Winifred and Stella, for your presence at this event, and Christina's message, which was read by Teresa Simmons, is deeply appreciated. We can always count on you. Today, as I participated in this event, I cannot help but to recall the qualities of St. Mary Euphrasia as a child. Energetic, free-spirited, a leader and organizer, to clean the grotto of St. Philbert together with her friends. These qualities are reflected in our girls today. Energetic, courageous, confident, and daring to speak up for girls' rights, which are human rights. To our wonderful and talented hosts and moderators, Fatima, Bawa, Royce, and Shane, you are superb and fantastic. Our grateful thanks to Sajjana for sharing the recommendations for a systemic change in the society. Our deep appreciation to all the girls from Myanmar, Philippines, Southwest India, Indonesia, and Sri Lanka who appeared in the short videos. Our heartfelt thanks to St. Bridget's Convent from the province of Sri Lanka, Pakistan, for the composition of the birthday song to St. Mary Euphrasia. What a powerful video production. This event would not be possible if not for a group of people who worked behind the scenes and played an important role to ensure the smooth flow. They are Mary, Nikita, and Sheena, who provided the technical support to the hosts and moderators. We express our sincere thanks to you. To all of you girls whom I have mentioned and to the many more who are watching this live event, you are the hope of our future. You are our future leaders. Keep up your good work. We are so proud of you. And last but not least, our grateful thanks to Miss Teresa Simmons, Mrs. Sashi Natarajan, and Miss Gillian Fernandez, who worked in the background with the girls to prepare for the launch. I am very sure that there are many others who have contributed towards the launch of this event and who have been part of this research paper. You know who you are, and we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. With that, I wish to conclude with the words of St. Mary Euphrasia. Gratitude is the memory of the heart. Thank you.
We are grateful to have you here, sister. Thank you for reminding us that we are not just girls, but empowered girls. Indeed, girls' rights are human rights. As we all know, to enable generation equality, we envision that every girl has access to justice, achieve gender equality, access to quality education, and lastly, access to health and well-being. We all have parts to play in achieving girls' rights. Let us remember, by listening to the most inspiring song from Euphrasia the Musical, I request all of you to join in because we can all work together towards our equal future.
Countries in tatters, food is never enough. Families are broken, women sell themselves in order to eat. Crime is rampant and opens from the streets. So you might say that things are tough.
it's leaking. Funds are never enough. The walls may soon fold with more souls than we can hold. War is over, but morale is still low. So you might say that things are tough, but I know there's no I in team. There is only you, me. We can work together. You, me. We can ease the pressure. Many hands make heavy hearts seem light. Together we can take this one day at a time.
He never said in training that this would be so draining. To see such darkness every day is easy dismaying, especially when I don't even get paid. But I know I can play a part in my own special way. Me, we can work together. You, me, we can ease the pressure.
Many hands make heavy hearts seem light. Together we can take this one day at a time. The roofs and tatters and our funds are ever dwindling.
Countries in tatters.
I think that was the song from the musical. That was my favorite song from the musical. They sing it like so well, and I think I've watched it so many times. I have the lyrics by heart too. So after this, our girls who sing this song, our girls from Chennai, have also been really inspired, and they've sung their own rendition of the song "You, Me, We Can Work Together." So can that be screen shared? And we request all of you to please join in and sing, because I'm sure people from Singapore, Malaysia would be knowing all of the lyrics of the song by heart. So we request all of you to join in.
So you might say that things are tough, but I know there's no I in team. There is only you, me. We can work together. You, me. We can ease the pressure. Many hands make heavy hearts sing light. Together we can take this one day at a time. They never said in training that this would be so draining. To see such darkness every day is easily dismaying, especially when I don't even get paid. But I know I can play a part in my own special way. Me, we can work together. You, me, we can ease the pressure. Many hands make heavy hearts seem light. Together we can take this one day at a time.
Thank you for covering the song Girls from Chennai. And may I encourage everyone to watch Euphrasia the musical, since this covers a lot of aspects in today's society. And always be reminded that you, me, we can work together and produce a brighter future. This research document will be accessible to everyone on the Good Shepherd Asia Pacific website and emailed to all who are with us at the launch. We are now
Just a second. As today is the launch of the research papers, it will be accessible to everybody, and you can see in the work and effort that was put in by the authors, and it will be available to everybody to read it and access it. Yes, Royce, go ahead.
We are now at the end of our program. We hope all of you have taken away something meaningful from today's program, and we also hope you had a joyous time celebrating our Mother Foundress' birthday together. I am Royce from Philippines, and I am ready to go out and do something good.
I am Fatima from India, and I'm ready to be the light in someone's day.
I am Shane from Philippines, and I am ready to make a difference in someone's life.
I am Bava from India, and I am ready to do good because I believe in it.
So let us all reach out and bring change wherever we can. As our Mother Foundress has said, there are no barriers. Thank you, and may this be a stepping stone for all of us.
Thank you so much for joining us from other various parts of the world today. We are so grateful to have all of you here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for
very
joining
much.
us.
Thank
Wonderful
you for
session.
joining us, participating.
Thank you.
Thank you
Bye.
all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I had a lot of fun today. It was so great to see all of you from so many places come in and interact, and it was truly, I think, a really amazing thing that Mother Euphrasia has started, and we are able to continue.
It's quite a privilege for all of us.
Thank you.